Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hands Down DFS channel. Ryan here, and we've got some new content for you on the Hands Down DFS YouTube channel. Recently, our home state of Florida has opened their first online legalized sportsbook in the Hard Rock Sportsbook. And while that is the only one that we have open at the moment, we're going to be looking at the DraftKings Sportsbook just because they have a broader reach and going through my favorite bets for the Week 10 NFL slate. Excited to start adding some of this content as I think a lot of people, sports betting has really grown recently and a lot of people are into it. So happy that Florida has a sports book that we can look through and place some bets on, and excited to bring you guys some content. So let's start off. I've got four bets that I really like for the Week 10 slate. And obviously, depending on the sports book that you're looking at, the lines might be different, the odds might be different. But we're going to start off with some QB props, passing yards, and going down to Trevor Lawrence here at 236.5 is his line. I like the over for him here. The Colts, they just allowed 400 plus passing yards to the two Jets quarterbacks who played last week, Josh Johnson and Mike White. Those guys that everyone knows about. 400 plus passing yards just allowed by the Colts. Before that, they allowed 265 to Ryan Tannehill. Before that, 243 to Davis Mills. Obviously, 442 to Lamar Jackson on that Monday night game. And over the last 3 weeks, Jacksonville is sixth in the league in passing play percentage. They're throwing the ball a ton. A lot of that last week was due to James Robinson's absence. And while that was a very low scoring game, I think James Robinson coming back to the lineup is actually going to open up Lamar Jackson even more. They love using him out of the backfield, and it's really good chunk yardage for them to pick up 6 or 7 or 8 yards just on a little check down to Robinson. So I think that adds to Lamar Jackson's upside from the passing game. And I think that the sports books are kind of scared of his ankle limiting him, but I mean, we know that he was taken first overall for a reason. He's Jacksonville's franchise quarterback. They would not play him if there was a chance of him suffering some more severe damage. I'm not worried about his injury too much, is what I'm going to say. Lawrence himself he's hit this 236.5 over 3 of the last 4 games. I just like this trend to continue against the Colts, so we're going to throw that over into our bet slip. The next prop I like is a running back prop, and we're going to go to rush attempts and scroll down to the Detroit Lions. There they are. And I'm going to take the DeAndre Swift under 13.5. I really like this price at minus 105. So I like the under here. Swift is only averaging 11.25 carries per game this year, and now he's going against a really tough rushing defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do like Swift overall as a player. Even this week, I think he's going to be, obviously we're a DFS focused channel. I think he's a good play in DFS, but I like him because of his upside in the passing game. The Lions split carries with him in the running game, so I don't see him getting to this 13 and a half point total. You will notice that the Steelers have allowed over 13 and a half rushing attempts to several players over the past few weeks, but you'll also notice that I think Pittsburgh's last four or 5 weeks have all been 1-score games, or I guess 10 points or less over the last either 4 or 5 weeks. It's been basically a 1-possession game, and I think by no means does Detroit keep this to a 1-possession game. I think Pittsburgh's going to get up, and they're going to have to Detroit's going to have to abandon the run at halftime and start going to the air. So I just don't see DeAndre Swift hitting this 13 and a half rushing yard total. So he is my second play. For my third play, still a running back prop, but we're going to go to rush matchups here and take McCaffrey over Leonard Fournette in terms of rushing yards. The formula to beating the Washington football team this year has just been pretty simple. It's pass the ball on them, don't run the ball on them. They've allowed only the 4th fewest rushing yards in a game, and Fournette going against them, he's not a guy like McCaffrey or Cook where he can take over a game. Derrick Henry, obviously he's injured, but Fournette's more of a game script, game situation type guy, and I don't see him getting the volume here, and I think frankly, if he does, Washington can hold him to 3 yards carry or fewer. Meanwhile, looking over at McCaffrey, he played his first game back from injury, had 14 rushing attempts, 52 yards, and all of that only playing 49% of the offensive snaps. It was clear that they were kind of taking it easy on him in his first game back. I think this week we're going to see him. We're going to see him his workload increase every week. Fournette's averaging about a 60% snap count and 12.5 carries per game so far this season. But before he got injured, McCaffrey was getting 20 plus carries every game and like easily getting 70 yards on the ground. Obviously, this is just rushing yards, but throw in that his 50 plus yards in the air. But all this to say, I think McCaffrey should easily clear Leonard Fournette in terms of rushing yards this game. I think the key for Carolina to win this game is going to be using McCaffrey more and more, as long as his injury can uphold that. And then last, a little bit more of a long shot, I guess, not too long of a long shot, but we're going to look at the touchdown scorer that I think has good odds on him. Down in the Denver game, all the way down, where is Denver? There we go. We're going to go with Noah Fant at plus 200 as an anytime touchdown scorer. You can also take him as a first touchdown scorer. I don't mind that either. But anytime touchdown scorer, the Eagles are allowing 8 touchdowns to tight ends, which is most in the league. Fant also has 25% of the Broncos' red zone targets, and just overall, tight ends for the Broncos have been Teddy Bridgewater's favorite guys to pass to. Overall this season, tight ends are getting about 30% of Bridgewater's targets. So I think as an anytime touchdown scorer, Noah Fant, if the Broncos can get into the red zone, I think he's going to be the first guy that Bridgewater's looking to, and I think there's a really good chance he catches a touchdown. So those are the 4 plays I like. Just throwing 1 unit on each of these guys in general. We're just going to be talking 1 unit plays unless otherwise stated. Fant, maybe you could bump down to a half unit if you want to take him as a first scorer. But these are the 4 guys I like. Just recapping: over 236.5 passing yards for Lawrence, under 13.5 rushing attempts for DeAndre Swift. McCaffrey as a more rushing yards than Leonard Fournette at that matchup, and then Noah Fant as an anytime touchdown scorer. Let me know what you guys think, if you like these bets and you're tailing them, or if there's any other bets that stand out to you. And thank you for watching. Let us know if you like this content, and we'll bring you more every week, maybe even every day. Thanks, and catch you guys later.